So what's up guys, I'm Black Ops Amazing, welcome back to another video where today we're going to be taking a look at future DLC content for Black Ops Cold War Zombies. We are currently in Season 2, we've had 2 Zombies maps, the new Outbreak mode, we've also had a bunch of new content from perks to alternate ammo types. But what I wanted to do is go over all of the potential future content and take a look back at a bunch of leaks that we got about 5 months ago that told us of a bunch of content that was coming to the game. We're going to see what was right, what was wrong, and it may also tell us what we can expect later on down the line. So as always, if you go on to enjoy today's video, don't forget to drop a like rating, make sure you are subscribed, but let's get into it. Here we go, and enjoy. So about 5 months ago in October of last year, before Black Ops Cold War released, there was a massive leak that was posted on Reddit that told us of all of the content that was coming to Cold War Zombies, not only on launch day, but later on down the line for DLC 1, 2, 3, and 4. And since this leak was posted, which I will link in the description below, a lot of it has turned out to be true. We were told 5 months beforehand that maps like Firebase C and perks such as Tombstone would be coming out. So there's no reason for me to believe that anything posted in here is fake. Anyway, let's go through all of the things we were told, and by the way, this was posted by Nanikos. The first thing he told us is that we get 3 maps at launch. These were D Machine, which was codenamed ZM_Silver, Firebase C, which was codenamed ZM_Pink, and a normal survival map variant of Nakda and Toten that we see appear in D Machine. So on day 1 back in September, we were supposed to get 3 Zombies maps at launch. We know we only got the 1, but we also should have gotten Firebase C, which in the end was pushed back to DLC 1, and a single survival map version of Nakda and Toten. I'm still wondering what happened to Nak because it makes total sense. It's already a part of D Machine, so why wouldn't they just take the Nact building and put it as a single map? That's something I think we'd all love to see. I can't see it being very difficult to do. They've just got to board up the outside area so you're stuck in the building. I definitely thought we would have gotten a Nact and Toten. We were told it exists in the leaks, so at one time it probably did. It may have been cut from the game, or just like Firebase C, it's been pushed back and we're going to see it at a later date. Anyway, the next thing we were told is to do with DLC maps. Firstly, one of the DLC maps, which is codenamed ZM_Platinum, would take place in Berlin. We know this to be true. In Firebase C and Outbreak, there is intel that tells us our next Zombies map is in Berlin. This is something we were told in these leaks 5 months ago, but they also said along with this could potentially be a Kino remake. The belief is that it'd be similar to how Nakda and Toten is in D Machine, so Kino would just be a small portion of the Berlin map. It would feature in it, but the map itself would be an expanded version of Kino. Like I said, Berlin is definitely DLC 2, it's 100% our next map, and more than likely, it'll include Kino. It just makes sense, they both take place in the same location. The next thing we were told to do with DLC was about another map which was codenamed The Giant, and the leaker thinks it could be a remake of Doris. Now, unlike all of the other maps mentioned before this is the only one we don't have evidence for. The others we did because in the D Machine intro, on the computer screen in front of Weaver, we have several different locations, which are Morasko, Poland, which is D Machine, Vietnam, which is Firebase C, Berlin, Russia, the Ural Mountains, which is Outbreak. But for this apparent Doris remake, or The Giant, we don't have anything. The actual map itself, Doris, takes place in Lower Silesia near Breslau, Germany. Of course, that was during Nazi occupation, so now it's actually located in Poland. Poland is the location of one of our other maps, D Machine, so we could be going back there with a Doris remake. As to when this would be coming, maybe DLC 3, DLC 4, 5. We should be getting 6 seasons like Modern Warfare, so if we get a Zombies map every season, we could still end up seeing 4 Zombies maps, and we don't even know what half of them are going to be. Anyway, moving on, yet another interesting and kind of suspicious thing we were told is TranZit won't be there at launch. Now, why would a leak that was posted 5 months ago tell us that TranZit isn't going to be in the game at the beginning? Surely if it wasn't planned to be in the game, they just wouldn't mention it at all, but they tell us specifically it's not going to be there at launch, which means maybe it's something we'll see later on down the line. Now, there was a video that was posted recently by COD Zombies HQ, I will link his channel down in the description, go and check it out, but he basically said that TranZit would make sense as an Outbreak map. If you think about it, so far for Outbreak we have 3 maps, but these are all Fireteam maps. Treyarch have said that they will be adding more maps to Outbreak, and this time they won't be from multiplayer, they're going to be unique to Zombies, and adding TranZit to that would make perfect sense. I think Outbreak is what TranZit was supposed to be. This open world sort of map where we can go from section to section. On Outbreak we have different modes of transport such as the snowmobiles or vehicles, the cars. On TranZit we had the bus to take us about. It would make perfect sense for them to bring TranZit back as an Outbreak map. The only thing that would be different potentially is they add missions to it. There must have been a reason why this leaker said TranZit wouldn't be there at launch, and it could be something that's coming later on down the line. I really do think it's very possible we see it as an Outbreak map. One thing I will say is for the longest time we've had leaks and rumours about a Zombies Chronicles 2. We were told that those 3 maps of TranZit, Dire Eyes and Buried were supposed to be remastered for Black Ops 4. That never ended up happening for whatever reason, but those maps were supposed to be finished and put on hold. There was a lot of speculation that they could be released for Black Ops Cold War. I can't see it happening anytime soon besides from TranZit, but maybe Buried and Dire Eyes could come later on down the line when all of the normal content is finished for this game. They could give us a Zombies Chronicles 2. We haven't really heard anything major on that though since Black Ops 4, so I wouldn't get my hopes up. Moving on though, that's everything we were told in terms of DLC maps, but let's go over everything else to see what's right and what was wrong and what potentially we could still be seeing. The next thing we were told is perk machines now look like World War II ones and or cans. Stamina Up, Deadshot, Elemental Pop, Quick Revive, Juggernog, Speed Cola, all perks are now 2.0 versions and can be upgraded 4 times. Yes, we've seen all of those perks, those were in the game day 1, but we couldn't upgrade them all 4 times, it was 3. Treyarch have just done an update so we can now do 5 upgrades. The next thing he says is, I've been hearing different things about Cherry and Double Tap. One person says they're in the game, and someone else is saying Electric Cherry isn't, but Double Pack-a-Punch gives you Double Tap. All of that's true except from Electric Cherry being a single perk. I don't think that's something we're going to be seeing. It just doesn't make sense. We were also told, which was actually edited back in December, that Double Tap, Mule Kick, PhD Flopper and Tombstone would return as DLC. Now, Tombstone we've seen, but Double Tap, Mule Kick and PhD we don't have. Now, as this person says, because of the Pack-a-Punch system in Cold War, I don't think we're going to be getting Double Tap as a perk, but Mule Kick and PhD I could definitely see happening. Mule Kick 100%, PhD Flopper would have to work a little bit differently because we now slide in zombies instead of dolphin diving, so more than likely we are going to see those perks at some point, and he does say at the bottom Electric Cherry does exist in the files, but it's left over from BO3 and 4. The next piece of info regards specialists. He talks about Healing Aura, Frost Blast, Ether Shroud, Energy Mine, those are all ones that exist in the game, but there are also a few others called Lightning Links, Toxic Growth and Frenzy Guard. Now, again, Frenzy Guard is one we've recently had in Fire BC and Outbreak, but Lightning Links and Toxic Growth we haven't yet seen. Since Frenzied God has turned out to be true, we can only assume those other 2 exist as well, but at what point we're going to be seeing them, I don't know, and what they could do, again, I have no idea. If you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comment section below. We were also told a knife is in the mystery box. Double Pack-a-Punch returns with a new alternate ammo type ability called Plasmatic Burst. This was actually the codename for Napalm Blast. Pack-a-Punch is buildable, there are loads of new boss zombies, all of that's real. Also, a new Panzer is coming, something we were told 5 months ago and has recently come to light in Outbreak. Regarding bosses, there's also mention of a Hazmat Zombie, he must be talking about the Megatons, the Russian Mech, which is the Manglers, the Mimic Zombie, the Nova Dogs and the Summoner Zombie. I'm pretty sure the Summoning Zombie is Order, that's what it's called in the game files. And getting to the last few things, Brutus and Avogadro have references in D-Machine. Yes, Brutus is painted on the floor of the Nat building. Adler and Baker are playable in zombies. We may be able to pick who you play as in zombies. Weaver is the commanding officer. The original ray gun is returning along with the new ray rifle. That's true, we've recently seen the Ray K in Firebase C. The shield is coming back, which we haven't seen, and I don't think we're going to because of armor. That would be very OP, along with a jetpack which is buildable and there are 5 parts to it. He says, we still haven't seen this, but it definitely exists in the code. If you were to ask me, I don't think it's something we're going to see, but it is there in the code, so maybe it's something they planned and removed, or it's something for the future. We were also told about the Ether Scope, melee weapons returning such as shovels, self-revives like we saw in World War II, references to elixirs in terms of microtransactions, this is more than likely left over from BO4, a new version of Damned, a way to physically win zombies which is the exfil system, 2 modes being a survival and a quest type, which is true in a way, but there aren't 2 separate modes, it's 1. Alternate endings to D-Machine, that's something that doesn't exist, so maybe at one point it did and then was removed. And finally, there are no Primus Ultimus Invictus, and Nikolai's glove is on D-Machine. So far, no one has found that, and in terms of story, it seems that Treyarch don't want to get Primus Ultimus or Victus involved, so again, I think that's something that was removed from the game. But there we go, a bunch of leaks we were told 5 months ago, where most of this has turned out to be true, and the stuff that hasn't is likely future content, such as the giant remake, the Berlin map, perks such as Mule Kick and PhD Flopper, maybe a jetpack in the future and TranZit returning. But there we go. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, you know what to do, drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, goodbye.